raising the rent. That's right, it's going up. Who's getting the hike and just how much? Coming up.
I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Maria LaRosa. Timing those showers through the overnight, still not done by morning.
And celebrities, cake, and makeup. New York Live's here with the sweet inspirations behind a big makeup trend. Hey, what's up? This is News 4 Now for June 22nd. Happy Wednesday. Now, I'm Kay Ingram, and I've got two words that no New Yorker wants to hear. Rent hike. New Yorkers living in rent-stabilized apartments in the city are going to be paying a lot more because rents are going up. The Rent Guidelines Board voted Tuesday night to raise one-year leases by 3.25% and two-year leases by 5%. Tenant advocates had been calling for a rent freeze, arguing that the hike will affect millions already struggling to pay rent as it is. But property owners and landlords claim that an increase is needed to cover rising maintenance costs.
Giving them an increase now is not the answer. The tenants, many tenants in there have not been able to work.
We're talking about the service workers, the restaurant workers, the delivery workers that got hard impact, who couldn't pay rent.
The increase takes effect in October. It's the highest jump for rent-controlled apartments in 10 years. All right, now for some good news. We're seeing new signs of COVID recovery here in the city. Starting next Friday, masks will no longer be required at Broadway shows. The mandate ends July 1st because COVID cases have continued to drop. All theaters along the Great White Way will then transition to a mask-optional policy. The Broadway League says that mask protocols for August and beyond will be reassessed monthly. All right, up next, we're getting a look at new disturbing video of an armed robbery where a 6-year-old boy was forced into a store closet at gunpoint. You're watching the suspect walk into the T-Mobile store last week in Brooklyn. You see the little boy walking around at the store on Avenue X and West 1st Street in Gravesend. All of a sudden, the suspect forces the boy, along with other customers, into the closet. Police say he then stole about 100 cell phones and took off. Luckily, though, no one was hurt in the incident. And the NYPD is sending a message to some rowdy riders on city streets. Almost 100 illegal dirt bikes and ATVs are off city streets for good. To be sure, the NYPD crushed them with a bulldozer. The city says it gets constant complaints from drivers and pedestrians about the dangerous bikes speeding on city streets and racing up and down sidewalks. They're made for off-road use and are not legal on city streets. Crushing the motorbikes is part of a big summer crackdown. Shocking new body cam footage shows police rescuing a woman who fell into the subway tracks. This happened at the 95th Street station in Bay Ridge, where officers on their daily transit inspection jumped into action and pulled her to safety. Police say the woman suffered a medical episode and fell onto the tracks minutes before a train rolled into the station. No word just yet on her condition. And I've got some bad news for all you Broadway fans. Another show is closing the curtain, one of many that will not make it past this summer. Company posted this statement to social media on Tuesday. Producers say that the show will run for 6 more weeks at the Bernard B. Jacobs Theater. The final performance will be on Sunday, July 31st. The show says it's also working on a North American tour, so not all done just yet. It comes after Tina, Dear Evan Hansen, and Come From Away all announced their final shows this month too. And check this out. A swarm of bees are buzzing in a safer spot after being removed from a MIDTOWN fire hydrant Tuesday. This was a scene on 57th Street and 3rd Ave. You can see the swarm takes up most of the hydrant. Police put up some crime scene tape to keep people away, but they did snap a few photos and video so we don't miss out. Eventually, the NYPD's bee unit showed up to scoop them up and take them to a safe location. A home in the Hamptons, that'll cost you. But for less than $40, you can buy and sell beachfront property like a real estate mogul. There's now a new Hamptons edition of Monopoly that's now available. It features cultural sites, historic landmarks, and well-known businesses. You can get your game on Amazon or stop in to a local storefront to pick one up while you're there. All right, if you're in Midtown and looking for a place to cool off this summer, we've got you. There's a new interactive art installation right here at Rockefeller Center that's sure to help. It's called Changing Spaces and consists of walls of water shooting up and enclosing visitors in its ever-changing pockets of shapes and spaces. Visitors are invited to jump in, hang out, and cool down all summer long.
Now, when you hear people screaming in 2 seconds, like 1, 2 now, then of course you hear that and you see, I get so happy inside. Of course, it's my heart, and I have something like this in the world right here in front of the Rockefeller.
The Changing Spaces installation is on display now through September 9th.
Hi there, I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Maria LaRosa. It was one of those days, a lot of gray skies, occasional showers. It's going to be one of those evenings and overnight. So the hour-by-hour forecast showing nothing terribly heavy. That sets up across eastern Pennsylvania, but we are still stuck in that mugginess and the cloud cover through tomorrow, and actually through at least tomorrow afternoon. Can't rule out some of those showers. The winds have been pretty persistently out of the southeast. That's been a cool breeze for the daytime. In the evening, though, we'll start to see those relax a bit. Still out of the east-southeast through tomorrow. Eventually the front comes through, we get those northwest winds and we dry out a bit. But starting off relatively mild and actually pretty close to where temperatures were all day and into the evening. 62 by tomorrow morning, 65 in Newark will be in the low 60s from Islip, upper 50s from the White Plains area, Poughkeepsie, Sussex, down the shore, staying in the 60s.
All right, up next, when it comes to pastels, why should spring have all the fun? Am I right? Well, New York Live caught up with celebrity makeup artist Ashley Glazer for some chic ways to incorporate the pastel trend into your makeup this season. Check it out.
Spring is finally here, so I'm here with my friend Ashley Glazer at NY Cake to talk about a very sweet trend. So tell me all about it.
So I'm so inspired by all the spring colors and the amazing fashions we saw at the Oscars. I love pink like Zoe Kravitz, silver frosting like Zendaya, and purple like Beyonce, like a berry.
So celebrities, cake, and makeup, what's not to love? Let's do it.
First, we're gonna do the berry Beyonce on Shakira. We're gonna start with this really cool chrome ink metallic liner. So once that's set and dry, we're gonna go in with this amazing fun spring palette. And this purple has a little bit of a blue undertone, which will give it that bounce like Beyonce had. We'll keep everything really neutral. We'll continue with this beautiful kind of rum raisin vibe and like this rusty gloss.
I love it. What do you think? Take a look.
Amazing.
Yeah. So what color do I get today?
So you're gonna be silver frosting like Zendaya.
Love it.
It's gonna look gorgeous, so we're using the same palette. And I'm gonna use a really fluffy brush.
My millennial heart is happy.
So to keep the springy tone with the blush, we're gonna use a little bit of a liquid blush, which is a huge trend right now.
Why does it stay longer?
It stays longer, it looks really hydrating and luminous. For the lips, we'll go with this beautiful pearlized shimmer tone, which balances out the silver, keeping it warm. And the balance of that warm and cool makes this really refreshing for spring.
Oh, Ash, I love it.
Love it?
It's so soft, and you wouldn't think silver with spring, but this is so pretty. I love it.
So now we're gonna do pink like Zoe Kravitz. So this one's like a soft pink, like a fondant. So it's really just so beautiful and so fresh. We'll add some frosting to this cake, and we'll use a beautiful pink glowy frosting on the cheeks as our highlighter. So we're gonna do a beautiful pink rose for the lips.
And don't you think this shade is just universally beautiful on everyone?
I do. That blue undertone pink looks fabulous on everyone.
Oh yeah. Stunning. Ashley, I love this trend. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and you guys look so sweet.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And finally, on Long Island, police say they're looking into a Girl Scout cookie scam. And it all starts with a little girl knocking on your door. News 4's Paisy Chang's here with what has police and neighbors really concerned.
Yeah, and there are at least a dozen victims at this point. Most victims say they're really not concerned about losing money. They're more concerned about the little girl's welfare.
Jose Castillo remembers seeing the little girl run into his newly opened restaurant.
A little young girl, like about, I don't gotta say 11 years old, excited, selling, Scout cookies. And my wife was right up front and she said, wow, why not help the little one?
They gave her $40 for Girl Scout cookies. A month later, still no cookies. Suffolk police say nearly a dozen other people have reported the same thing, from Bohemia to Shirley.
I have kids and, it's to know that little thing like that, things like that could happen, that someone can use a kid like that. It's just pretty heartbreaking for like that. It's not, I don't think it's fair.
They told me it would be delivered second week of May. May came and went.
Kevin Zazowski also thought he bought a few boxes. He recognizes the girl from a Ring video shared by another victim. We've blurred her face because of her age. There's a man in a red sweatshirt waiting for her.
It wasn't the money, it's the principle of it, of what this gentleman's teaching his daughter, how to scam people at such a young age.
It's not clear who the man is or his relationship with the girl, but the Girl Scouts said in a statement they are working with law enforcement and would encourage anyone who believes they were a victim to contact Suffolk police. And they will provide cookies to anybody who placed a bogus order.
I'm not worried about the cookies or the money, it's just what's happened to that little girl.
Now, both the Girl Scouts and Suffolk County Police are urging anyone who may have been scammed to file a police report. They want to hear from you. Reporting from Bohemia, Paisley Cheng, News 4 New York.
All right, friends, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow on News 4 Now.